Well, problem 7 asks us to perform a translation on a triangle RUN. Okay, that's this triangle here, RUN. And the translation is to move 7 in the x direction and -3 in the y direction. And we've got to do that to the entire triangle. So as we talked about earlier, the easiest way to do this is to move the points, the vertices of the triangle, the R, the U, the N, and then by connecting the lines that we get when we have the new images of these points, we'll have the entire triangle. So we've got to count out 7 to the right and 3 down for each one of these points. So let's do this together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 3 down, 1, 2, 3. That's R prime. Then U prime we have to get 7 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 3 down, 1, 2, 3. This is U prime. And then N also we've got to move 7 to the right and 3 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1, 2, 3, N prime. So this gives us our triangle R prime, U prime, N prime. Let's go ahead and draw the line segments between the points, complete our triangle. And I hope you're doing this at home as well. Okay, good. So name the pre-image. Well, the pre-image was triangle RUN. State the orientation in a clockwise direction. So I think what they're saying is state the orientation really is what we wanted to know. And what they're telling us is that in a clockwise direction we've got RUN. Okay. So now name this image. R prime, U prime, N prime. Triangle R prime, U prime, N prime. State the orientation in a clockwise direction. It's still RUN, so that's why we put R prime, U prime, N prime. Notice going from R to U to N in the pre-image was a clockwise motion, and going from R to U to N in the image is also a clockwise motion. So do translations have the same or opposite orientation? They have the same orientation. Let's fill in these. The measure of RU is, well, we know a translation is an isometry. So we know it preserves length. So the length of RU should be the same thing as the length of R prime, U prime. The length of RN should be the same as the length of R prime, N prime. And the measure of UN should be the same as the measure of U prime, N prime. So is segment length preserved? Yes, you bet it is. Okay. What about angles? Well, you can see that the angles look the same, and as we mentioned, an isometry preserves angle measures as well. So we can say that the measure of angle R is equal to the measure of angle R prime, the measure of angle U is equal to the measure of angle U prime, and the measure of angle N is equal to the measure of angle N prime. Is angle measure preserved? Yes. And finally, is translation and isometry? Yes.